everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. The running game will be a focus today. The Saints have the best rush defense in the league, and they're going against the Seahawks, who will try to avoid becoming one-dimensional. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. As usual, the streets of the nearby French Quarter are alive as we are in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Tonight, we wrap up Week 11 with a good Monday nighter between the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
3 yards to go here on 2nd down. Now Jones. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
Throwing Jones. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
When you say the name Richard Sherman, you get a wide variety of reactions. All I know is that when I watch him play, very few false steps, an excellent understanding of what offenses are trying to do.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. Now back to throw. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And credit the tackle to Cliff Averill.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got it over the middle. Fleener. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. Oh, Thomas unable to reel that one in, and that brings up 4th down. Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. From the right hash, this from 53. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. 5 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down. The starters for the Seahawks of Seattle on the offensive side, Charles, they could use a big game from Thomas Rawls.
And they really love what they got out of him last year because an undrafted player is not supposed to give you nearly 6 yards a carry in production, and that's exactly what he did. They need a big game out of him, and they expect it.
Second and 5.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch. Come on, let's go!
Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Here we go!
They'll look to throw here. His throw incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And that'll bring up second down. And here now, New Orleans defensive unit.
Cameron Jordan is now one of those versatile defensive linemen who can play all up and down the front. Whether he's playing tackle or end, he knows how to make plays.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
Come on, let's go!
He'll drop to throw. And it's incomplete. He was looking for Thomas Rawls there. And it's third down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Now Jones. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And now a first down following that long gain.
Let's go. 38.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Throwing Jones. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete. Justin Hunter, the one he was searching for. And now it's 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And Gold is able to put it through. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So that scores now on their first 2 possessions, but it's 6-0. Probably not the kind of scores they were hoping for.
No, not at all, but I think that they've shown that they can have some success against this defense. So they'll go back to the sideline knowing the points are going to be there for the taking.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. You took the words right out of my mouth.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8, now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Come on, let's go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. yards still remaining here on third down.
Here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Surveying the field. Dancing to his left. He finds his man, Baldwin. 17 yards on the pickup there and also a first down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Shift together here from the D-line. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. They'll look to throw here. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on third down.
Let's go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got Curse. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll give him a fresh set of downs.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On the ground, Rawls. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Thomas Rawls with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead. And he'll bang that one through. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They come up in an offset eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And they'll run it here. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's complete. Flainer, right side. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it second down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on 2nd down and 3. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
One of the good things offenses did years ago was they lettered their gaps the same on each side. A gap between guard and center on either side. That's what you want to control when you're trying to run the ball up the middle.
And why is that?
Because typically you either have a big nose guard in there and an odd front, 3-man front, or you have defensive tackles that might line up in the A-gaps trying to gain an advantage and get upfield themselves. If you can control that, it gives the back plenty of space to pick and choose where to go.
And there, a great inside run, broke the contact and got some space. They come out here in the eye. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Throwing, Jones. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. But he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Come on, let's go! Red 38, Ohio!
Now Jones. This is caught. It's Cooks. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even...
And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little game.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Partners, we well know long kickoff returns set up big-time momentum for the team with the ball. But how about the defense? They've gone on the field, understood the situation, and really held up strong.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. They come out here in the eye. And to give this time to the tailback. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the lead is now 13. And the Saints add on to their lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be taken in at the 1. Stays on his feet. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
They'll come out throwing here to start. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Cyprien. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
Well, it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Gold is able to put it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They go back to the air here after the INT. Drops it underneath for Rawls. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. The grab made by Kearse over the middle. They give him 15 more, and it's another 1st down. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
15 yards there on the catch and run.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Back to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And it's 3rd down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd.
Here we go. Red 38.
Throwing Jones. Hits his target, Hunter. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. This time with Ingram. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Now Jones. Flushed out right. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
My high school coach John Ford used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They start on the ground with Rawls. So we got 3 of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. So we're at halftime here on a Monday night as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're
is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Looking to throw. He hits Baldwin right side. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
Here we go. 1, 9,
First down, this is Rawls. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. I give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things, and they've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
6 yards to go here on second down.
Ohio. Come on, let's go. Ohio, let's go. 1, 9.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Caught left side, Williams. And he's brought down. The 15 yards there on the catch and run.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go. 1, 9.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Come on, let's go. 38.
Now a shotgun, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He will not go down.
Have to retape those ankles.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's imposed its will on a defense. When we talk about that all the time, what does it really mean? It means that the guys on the offensive line, they feel like they can do whatever they want. They're in the huddle saying, run it again. Give us another chance to smack someone and create some space. On the defensive side of the ball, not only have they imposed it.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Williams, his first touchdown on the year. And the forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Saints. And that will bump the lead up to 26. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
The Saints with an extra defensive back here on 3rd on the field.
Could they blitz?
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Garrett Swanson now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Pulled in at the 24. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
They come out here in the eye. They'll set up a throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Let's see what they go to here on 3rd down and 6.
Here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Thomas the intended target, and that brings up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. They'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
And on 3rd and 15, we see the dime look, 6 DBs on the field.
Playing pass all the way. They'll look to throw here. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Oh, boy, he got a favorable spot there. The guys on the sidelines were raising their hands over their head and clasping their hands to signal safety. But the official marked it just outside the end zone at the 1-yard line.
That's taken inside his own 40. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
They come up in an offset eye. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Throwing Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. Here's Thomas Morstead now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
This is complete. It's Baldwin. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
3 down. Here we go. Red 38.
They'll set up to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They come up in a 2 tight end look here.
Let's go.
Out of the Wildcat, a wide receiver carry. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Cyprien. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
So 3rd and 15 and an extra defensive back in the game now.
Flooding the passing lanes.
Now Jones hits his target, Hunter. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out. Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. They give him 12 yards and a 1st down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. They go play action here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Come on, let's go!
Back to throw. That's caught at the 2. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Justin Hunter, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints are pouring it on. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And out now come the Seahawks. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Here we go! Let's hear it, let's see the noise! Ohio! Shake it hungry!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. Following the penalty, it's Rawls fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse. And now it's 3rd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
Come on, let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
Looking to throw. Going for the deep ball. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Jonathan Cyprien. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Let's round! Let's go! Here we go!
They come out here in the eye. And they give this time to the tailback. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Ohio! Come on, let's go! Here we go! Brand 38! Brand 38! And 96 is coming.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL